All right, today we're going to be talking about day 2 of ellipses. So we've got a couple of graphing problems to review here, and then one using the complete the square to come up with the equation. Okay, so first problem right here, we've got x plus 6 to the second power over 9 plus y minus 4 to the second power of 25 equals 1. Okay, so first things first, let's label out h and k. So h is equal to negative 6. K equals 4, remember just opposite. Okay? Label a and b, remember a squared is always equal to the bigger value. B squared always equal to the smaller value. So we can go ahead and we can label out a and b. So the square root of 25 is 5. Square root of 9 is 3. Since a is always the bigger value and it's under y, that means this ellipse is going to be going up and down. Our b value will be then horizontal, because that's our co-vertices. It's always opposite of our vertices. So the last thing we need to do before we can start graphing is, and writing out all of our characteristics like our vertices, our co-vertices, our foci, and the eccentricity, we need to find c. So recall how you do that. It's c squared equals a squared, which is 25, minus b squared, which is 9. So then that means you get c squared equals 16, so therefore then c equals 4. So again, remember, the foci and the vertices are on the same line, so therefore c, we're going to be moving up and down. Okay? So let's go ahead here, and I like to graph it, and then you can just write out your foci. If you have your formulas in front of you as well, you can use them to come up with your vertices, your foci, your co-vertices, and your eccentricity. Okay, so it looks like I'm going to go over. 1, 2. Okay, so I'm going to go just to make sure I fit this all in here. I'm going to go over 16. Okay, so I went over 16, and it looks like I'm going to go down. I'm going to go down 13. Okay, and now let's go ahead and let's grab it. So first off, our vertex, our center, not our vertex, our negative 6, 4. Okay, so there's our center. Now recall this is a vertical ellipse. So from the center, I'm going to go up 5. So there's one vertices. I'm going to go down 5 as well. There's our second vertices. Again, why am I able to do that? Because the definition of A is the distance from the center to the vertices. So since you know it's a vertical ellipse, again, how do we know it's a vertical ellipse? Look at where a squared is at under the y value. Okay? Now we're going to go ahead and graph our co-vertices. So remember, since our vertices are vertical, our co-vertices are going to be horizontal. And that is B. So from the center, I'm going to go 1, 2, 3. Label that a co-vertices. Left, 1, 2, 3. Label that a co-vertices. Last but not least, we need our foci. So our foci are on the same. It's a vertical ellipse. It's on the same axis as the vertices. So since C is 4, we're just going to go up from the center 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Write an X there. Label an F next to it so you know that that's my foci down. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now, how do you know you did this correctly? Look at our foci are always inside our vertices. Always inside. So we're going to go ahead now and just graph it. It's not the best ellipse, but this needs to better. Yeah, I mean, it's not honestly not the best. I never was an artist, so. Okay, so our vertices, if we were to label them all out, I like to go ahead, and if you can graph it out, it's just really easy, then you can just write them down. Or you can use your formulas, but if you were doing it, you should have got negative 6, 9, negative 6, negative 1. Our co-vertices. Is negative 9, 4, and negative 3, 4. Our foci are negative 6, 0, and what does that look up there? Negative 6, 8. And then our eccentricity, remember C over A is just 4/5. That is equal to 0.8, and so that's a lot closer to our vertices. Therefore, that's why we have more of a elliptical shape. Okay. All right, second one right here. Let's go ahead. H and K always first. So H equals 1. Remember opposite. K equals 0 because it's just a y squared there. Bigger values. So that means A squared equals 81. B squared equals 64. Again, why do I know that? Because A squared is always bigger than B squared every time. So that means then, what's the square root of 81? That means A is 9. What's the square root of 64? That means B is 8. We need to find C using our formula, so it's going to be C squared equals A squared, which is 81, minus B squared, which is 64. That gives me, that's equal to 17. And so we know then C is equal to the square root of 17, which is approximated to be 4.1 to help us graph. Okay? So now that we have A, B, and C, we can go ahead and literally graph everything, okay? So for this graph, just to make sure everything is on there, I'm going to go over 9. And then I'm going to go, it looks like, I think I'm just going to go down 10, I believe, here. Let me see. Yeah, I'm just going to go down 9, actually. Okay, now we'll graph our center first, so 1, 0. And now, since A squared is under X this time, we're going to have a horizontal ellipse here. We're going to have a major axis that is horizontal, a minor axis that is vertical. Okay, so from the center, we're just going to go left and right 9, okay, because that's the definition of our vertices. Okay, so we went left 9, we're going to go right 9, or whatever, D, C, we're going to go right 9. And then we're going to go up 8. And we go down 8. Okay, and that's our co-vertices. Remember, since our vertices are horizontal, our co-vertices are going to be vertical. Last but not least, foci on the same line as our major axes and our vertices. So that was equal to 4.1, so I'm going to go over 4.1 to the right. Put an X there and put an F. And then I'm going to go left, same thing. And there we go, okay? Wow, I mean, like, what is going on here with my drawings have been absolutely terrible. Yeah, I mean, I'm not going to lie, this is just laughable, but it is what it is. As long as you guys are learning about them, wow, yeah, that is so bad. Holy cow. Alright, this is best it's going to get. It's supposed to be more circular. So, I apologize about that. Alright, so now if I was to go ahead and label my vertices and stuff. Where do those occur at? We've got them marked on here already. It's easier to do that way, so it's just 8, 0, 10, 0, my co-vertices. We go up 8, down 8 from the center, so that's going to be 1, 1, 8, and then 1, -8, and then foci, whenever you have a value under the radical, I just always write it like this. You can leave it like this, you don't have to change it. Because what do? We just went left and right 4.1, so we're adding that to the h value. And then last but not least, our eccentricity is equal to c over a. So it's going to be square root of 7 over 9. Okay, so that's just kind of a review of graphing there. Right now we're going to move on to completing the square. It's not really any different from circles. Okay, so not too bad there. All right. So here we go. So we're going to look at this one, and then the rest is going to be for practice because you definitely need to practice these. All right. So first things first, move the c value over. So that's going to leave this, and then I'm going to reorganize. So I'm going to have now 3x squared plus 18x plus y squared minus 2y equals a -4. Okay? So now what we're going to do is if you notice, the a value is never going to be the same anymore for them. That's just the standard form of an ellipse. They're not. Okay? So, but if you can still factor something out from one of the variables, you have to do that. So now it's going to look like this. You take this 3 out, and now it's going to give you x squared plus 6x plus y squared minus 2y equals a -4. Okay? Now we're going to take the b value for both, divide it by 2. So 6 divided by 2 to the second power, that's going to give you 3 to the second power, which is 9. So recall, remember when I add something to the left, and I factor something out, I got to add it over here, but multiplying it, so it's going to be 3 times 9 now. And then plus y, or not, sorry. We take that -2 now, we're going to take that -2 and we're going to divide it by 2. In squares, it's going to be a -1 to the second power, which is a +1. We did not factor anything out over there, so there is no problem. We have no issue there. Okay, so we can just add 1 to the right side. No need to multiply. Okay, and so then you're going to have something that looks like this. Now you're going to have 3 on the outside. Now on the inside, that's going to be x squared plus 6x plus 9, which how do we factor that down? That is, we took 6 divided by 2, and we got 3 for b, so we know it's going to factor down to be x plus 3 to the second power plus y. What do we get here when you did -2 divided by 2? You get a -1, so you're going to have y minus 1 to the second power equals, what's left here? -4 plus 27 plus 1. So that's 28 minus 4, so 24. Now, one last step. Okay, we do not want a value out front at all. Okay, and so since 3 is the only thing out front, or I'm sorry, I'm wrong about that. Okay, the thing that you need to understand about an ellipse and a hyperbola equation is that it's always equal to 1. And what do we have right now? It's equal to 24. So here's the new thing, right? Whatever it's equal to on the right side, that's what you're going to divide everything through by. And so when you do that, you're going to have this. 3 over 24 just leaves you with an 8. So you're going to have x plus 3 to the second power over 8 plus y minus 1 to the second power over 24 equals 1. And there you go. So there is your equation in standard form. Okay? So then what that means is that a squared equals 24, b squared equals 8, and c squared equals then a squared minus b squared, so 24 minus 8, which equals 16, so then c equals 4. So, but we need to find a, b, and c, right? So for a and b, you just take the square root of both those. So the square root of 24 is going to be 2 root 6, which approximates to be 4.9. B squared, when you take the square root of 8, that's approximated to be 2 root 2. I'm sorry, that equals 2 root 2, which is approximated to be 2.8. And then C we found to be 4. Okay? So now what you need to notice is that A is going to be on a vertical major axis, because what is our bigger value? It's under Y. So that means B is going to be on a minor horizontal axis. And then your foci as well goes with the vertices. Okay? So now, what is our center opposite H and K here? So our center is going to be -3, +1. Okay? If you're using your formula, okay, for vertices, because we're going up and down from the center, the H value is not changing. It's going to be K plus or minus A. In this case, it's 2 root 6. So you can write it like that. Guys, remember I said when you don't have a nice whole number, you can write it with the plus or minus. Okay, if you wanted to change that to 4.9, I guess you're welcome to do that too. I want really the exact values. That's rounding, okay? Co-vertices. Now the H value is changing because we're moving left and right from it. Okay, and so we're going to get this. We're going to get -3 plus or minus the B value, so 2 root 2. And then K is not changing, so we just write it as a 1. Our foci, we have a nice value here, so we can write that. So we're just going up from the center of 4, down from the center of 4. So that's going to be -3, 1 plus 4, so 5. And then -3, the H value is not changing to K. We're doing 1 minus 4, and that's going to give you -3. So there's your foci, okay? Your eccentricity is C over A, so C is 4, A is 2 root 6. Plug that into your calculator. You cannot keep it like that. No radicals in the denominator. And so that is going to be root 6 over 3. And there you go. So there's all of our characteristics. Now last we have to do is just go ahead and graph. Okay, so I'm going to go over, okay, I'm going to go over 13. And then I'm going to go down, I think just 10. I'm going to keep it as 10, yeah. All right, so I'm going to go over 3, what is it? Yeah, over 3 up 1 for our center. My vertices, I'm going up 4.9. Because it's a vertical major axis, down 4.9. Okay, my co-vertices, I'm going left and right because my minor axis is horizontal this time. 2.8, 1, 2. Okay, and then left, 2.8. Label CVs next to those. And then for the foci, we're just going to go up and down 4 because the foci are on the same axes as the vertices. Down. And now let's just go ahead and connect. And there we go. Okay? So real quick, really the only new step is just at the end there, when you get whatever it's equal to. So if it was equal to like 40, I would divide everything through by 40. If it was equal to 60, I'd divide everything by 60. Okay? If it was equal to, well, it won't be negative ever. If it was equal to 1/2, I would divide everything through by 1/2. Okay? Got to get 1 on the right side there. Alright, and so that is it for today. I'll see you guys in class on Monday. Thank you.